Coming up on this edition of ATV News.
Yeah, at least, part.
You've seen her face online. We'll tell you what she was thinking about during this viral moment.
Not opening the building obviously is something that we never wanted to do or never had intended to do.
We'll show you what 800 Block is doing to prove this time they're really ready for you to move in.
If it's not good for the heart, I don't want it.
We'll show you why this food may not be good for your heart, but it's good for your soul.
You may not want to throw away your winter jacket just yet. Coming up in weather, I'll show you how some spring showers are coming your way.
It's March and the madness is well underway. I'll show you something the Aggies did for the first time this season and why it didn't help them out in the tournament.
All that and more. This is ATV News.
Really emotional and kind of just all overcame me all at once.
A USU cheerleader became a March Madness meme after she was caught crying on national television. Welcome to this edition of ATV News. I'm Marcus Lamb.
And I'm Paige Johnson. You may have seen this viral meme of the Utah State University cheerleader crying after USU lost their NCAA tournament first round game against Missouri. Claire Scott caught up with Ashlyn Wimpy to see how she feels about going viral.
Steratore should be in on paying.
Ashlyn Wimpy was filmed crying on national television.
I was just in shock. It was just weird.
Good job off the bench.
The video received millions of views on Twitter and even made national news on sites such as USA Today and the US Sun.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wimpy says she only realized she'd been broadcasted to millions when she was back in the locker room.
I didn't even realize that it was kind of going viral. It was more that I just saw that I was on TV.
Ashlyn says she didn't plan on popping up on so many people's phones, but now that she has, she's running with it.
I already make TikToks. You can kind of take it and do something with it, or you can kind of just ignore it and just keep going on with life.
The attention has already boosted her TikTok from just 400 followers to nearly 10,000. She's also received hundreds of DMs in the past few days, including one from DiGiorno Pizza offering free pizzas through the end of the semester.
They really decided to show me for a while.
Watching the video and looking over the responses, Wimpy says the mean comments don't get to her.
It is definitely hard with social media nowadays and seeing all of them, so I've just tried to, just ignore those.
If anything, the cheerleader says people have been understanding.
She's in the midst of it, and probably being with Utah State and on the school's team, I'm sure it emotionally means a lot more to her.
Realizing it's my last game, the season's over, it's just really emotional and kind of just all overcame me all at once I realized that. I was like, this is it, this is the end.
Claire Scott, ATV News.
One woman was struck in her car after crashing into a ditch off the Little Bear River on 600 South near Mendon. This tow truck driver waded through waist-deep icy waters to pull her car out of the ditch.
The vehicle has crashed into the canal and it's sinking.
Deputies say the woman was unable to get out of the car on her own because of her weight.
800 Block Apartments is finally open. You may know them for canceling leases for the last 2 years. Verl Johansson shows you how they're changing that reputation.
The largest room that we have.
These students are touring 800 Block Apartments. Managers say they promised to open on multiple occasions, but they say construction delays and the pandemic kept them from keeping their promise.
We really wanted to change the perception of what we didn't do well in the past and what we could do right in the future.
How did they change?
This year, definitely the attitude was, look, let's just wait until we get our occupancy permit. We can get kids in. They can be in the building, in the unit, in the bedroom, see it, feel it, touch it, and then we'll lease to them.
I'm inside one of the available apartments. Each one has a washer and dryer, and depending on how many roommates you want, up to 2 fridges and up to 2 dishwashers. Area managers say they're working with students who signed leases in previous years to make up for not opening on time.
To just be understanding, to really try to help them and see what discounts and concessions we can offer to try to make it worth their while.
Mackie says apartment tours are helping change negative perceptions.
I think being able to show people exactly what they're getting has really changed that mindset.
Mackie and Brimhall say students have already started moving in and signing leases for the fall. They say it's important to be clear with students.
If we can be transparent, set the right expectations, then typically we can see eye to eye.
Verl Johansson, ATV News.
Mackie says she hopes to help students have a positive experience with 800 block.
A Mountain Crest High School student tested positive for tuberculosis. Students returned to classes Tuesday after the active case was announced. The River Health Department officials say they already started testing the students.
We have gone ahead and worked really closely with the school district to identify students that are considered close or prolonged contacts with the individual or have had close or prolonged contact with this individual. And we were able to do that really through the weekend and able to get those individuals actually tested today.
SD says although tuberculosis is a serious disease, the students and teachers are safe and not considered at risk.
Utah State was built in 1888, and since then, a lot has changed. Although, if you could have a look back in time, how much change has there actually been? Katie Varga joins us live from the Family Life Building to take a peek into the past. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Now, this dress has been worn in this building before, almost 60 years ago, and all of this looks very similar to how it was when this dress was first worn. So what about students and our campus has changed and hasn't? The Old Main Bell has been ringing on campus for decades. It has watched students come and go over the years. Students today and those who graduated years ago experienced USU campus differently and the same.
For me, coming to Utah State was like a breath of fresh air, coming from Ohio out here. And there was nothing that wasn't fascinating.
Bill Varga, who is also my grandpa, or more commonly known as Papa Bill, came here in the 60s as a student and has been teaching ever since. We took a trip around campus to see what is different about student life here and what hasn't changed in nearly 60 years.
Welcome to the USU bowling alley. Oops, food court. This was all bowling alley behind me, so it was kind of fun. I actually had a bowling class here and a PE class. Recognize the football stadium? In the 60s, Romney Stadium was here on campus. Not on campus, off campus, but on campus, really. This hasn't changed much. I mean, trees, the original trees are around the quad here. And this is where the same thing, sports, where we played Frisbee and where we played football.
A student today might wear something like this, a long sleeve t-shirt and jeans, but my Papa Bill says back in the 60s, the girls wore something like this. This dress was actually worn by my Nana in the 60s to school. She says dresses were very common.
And so it can be really useful, especially if
He says the biggest change he sees now is classroom technology and all the new resources we have. But he says when it comes to student personalities,
I don't think anybody's changed. I think personality and temperament just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. But I think people, they're still people.
Papa Bill says buildings like this one make it feel as if you've stepped back in time, and that it goes to show that not all things change. Reporting live from the Family Life Building, Katie Varga, ATV News. Back to you, Paige, at the desk.
Thanks, Katie.
Soul food, it really represents Black excellence. A lot of the time people like to focus on things that kind of bring people down, but soul food is one of those things that does the opposite. It brings people up. It's good food. It represents the good culture and the good times that people can have.
Soul food is a beloved part of African American culture, from jambalaya to mac and cheese. The Black Student Union told me how this event brings people together, and they tell the story in their own words.
Check, check. Ooh, it works. Hello, y'all.
We're having our annual soul food event. We're gonna have performers, we're having a fashion show. We have this event every year with a different variation of what entertainment we're doing, but the night usually goes the same.
One of my major goals is to make professional connections for the students as well. And so professional networking is like a major part of what we do.
having jambalaya, beignets, things like that. Just traditional Southern food.
They did well. I'm actually coming back for more beignets and more jambalaya. Excellent job. I will give them that.
Looks very, very good. I guarantee you I'm gonna eat this whole plate.
The food is a big part of it, don't get me wrong, but it's about just getting together. Food is the vehicle for us to come together.
The community that gets behind it, that's what I have an attachment to. Coming together with people and having good food and a good time, that's really what more I'm attached to.
Jasmine Kemp.
We usually have like dancers or singers, but we wanted to switch it up this year.
That was definitely particularly for Black people. It was doing some African American culture in different eras, and then also some culture just from different countries and regions.
We want to show the community that, you know, we love each other, we care about each other, and we want to educate each other, and so this is a perfect night to do it.
This is our culture, y'all. Accept, embrace, and enjoy.
Now enjoying with Morgan, our weather lady, and Noah from ATV Sports. Now guys, I was at the Soul Food event, and while I was filming, I couldn't get a chance to get the jambalaya or the mac and cheese, but I was able to get the beignets, the little desserts you saw, and I gotta tell you, they were really delicious. Have either of you had soul food before?
Yeah, actually, I just was doing a crawfish boil a couple weeks ago, so that's, you know, that side of it was a little spicy for my taste, but it still was good. Noah, what about you?
I went my freshman year and my sophomore year up here, and it's just, like the guy said, like it fills you up, it makes you happy, lifts you up, just such good food.
All that food looked extremely mouth-watering. I'm so sad I didn't get to have any. And coming up. These kids are competing in a track meet. We'll show you how they get more out of it than just the excitement of winning.
Ahead Ashworth, one more and a finish.
All these dunks, but 0 threes in the first half. I'll show you why the Aggies couldn't stop the Mountain West losing streak in the NCAA tournament.
These people are enjoying the spring weather, flying kites on the quad. I'll let you know how long the sun will stay in weather. The current temperature is 39 degrees.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome to ATV Weather. I'm now somewhat popping up, and now here's the National Radar. Thank you, and sorry for those technical difficulties. Welcome to ATV Weather. I'm Morgan Perkins, and we are here to talk about what we're seeing outside. It's a little sunny here in Logan, and it feels nice. As we go to our National Radar, we can see over by California, there's a lot of precipitation happening. There's some next to us, below us, above us, and on both sides. Over in the Kansas City area, there's a lot happening right here, a lot happening up in the Dakotas, and a lot in California, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. As we head over to the state radar, we can see that in Utah, it is not too bad. Now when we get to that state radar, we can see it's happening in southern Utah. There's more precipitation happening than up in Logan. I think this might pass right by us before we even get snow. So to show you what our valley looks like and some amazing things that are happening, we're gonna head over to some valley views. Starting off at Cherry Peak in the middle of the night, we see it's kind of sunny, you know, weather's good, and then bright sun. Headed over to Logan Summit, you can see that it's some haze, some snow, sunny. Right again, here we are. Now over to Hiram Dam. this is so beautiful to look at just because with the ice over the dam and pretty nice weather. Now we head to the look of Cache Valley from Old Main. We see the beautiful mountains, we see the beautiful, beautiful sky, and those trees in a couple weeks may be a little greener than this. Headed to our Logan Canyon, same way, beautiful, sunny, and awesome. Headed to our 7-day forecast. We can see today we're having some sun, a little cloudy, but tomorrow through Friday, there will be a little rain and snow. This may dampen some plans, but don't you worry, Saturday and Sunday will just be a little cloudy with highs in the lower 30s. Then we head over to Monday. It's sunny, y'all. We're getting there. 35 degrees. We're almost there. And that is all I have for you today for our weather. Back to you, Marcus, at the desk.
Thanks, Morgan. You may have donated cans like these to the Utah Food Bank this weekend. Volunteers drove around grabbing bags of food neighbors left right here on this house like this, on their doorsteps, curbs, and even snowbanks for the Utah Food Bank's annual Feed Utah Food Drive. They say picking up the donations is an easy way to make a big difference.
It's pretty cool that me taking like an hour out of my day is going to help somebody in a pretty big way.
The food bank says these donations will help feed the 289,000 Utahns who are unsure of whether their next meal will come from. While the food drive is over, you can donate to the Utah Food Bank year-round.
A local nonprofit provides sports opportunities for kids age 5 through 14 who struggle to fit in. I went to the Athletics United track and field meet to let them tell their story.
Today we had our annual spring track meet. We have 5 events and our goal is just participation, encouragement, and support of one another. Your group coach is going to ask for your name. We had so many people. We were expecting about 50, maybe 60, and I think we surpassed that. We had a lot of people who have never even come before sign up this week to participate.
They each had their own goals in mind of what they wanted to do.
You got this. Come on, all the way. Go, 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 go. Nice.
Athletics United is free for anyone who is interested in participating. And we especially like to work with new American families to provide, a safe and fun environment for people to build community.
Your arms are going to be your momentum. When they come forward, they swing you forward with them.
Because of their family background, might not have connections to the resources to do these kinds of things.
Our hope is that if someone's exposed to a sport that they really enjoy, that maybe they end up pursuing that in high school.
I wanted to do hurdles a lot.
One of the reasons we love having the university close by is that we get to use facilities like this, and we also get to involve university students, and it's really fun for athletes in the club to meet university students and feel like Utah State is an accessible place for them to be and aspire to go to one day.
Hey, nice job, man. Great job.
Running club is awesome and it's really fun and you really should come and check it out.
Athletics United hosts sporting events for kids all year long. To donate or volunteer, click the link to their website on our Facebook page. And coming up.
Nice off-speed, grounded, thrown home, but Jimenez scores! Aggies win!
The Aggies had a walk-off win against New Mexico this week. Coming up, Noah Giles will show you if they were able to complete the sweep.
I miss a lot of things back home.
We'll show you what international students say is the hardest thing about living in a new country.
Aggie Air is an innovative engineering program exclusive to Utah State. It provides opportunities for students to get hands-on and real-world experiences. By building model planes that photograph and scan detailed images of landscapes, Aggie Air can change the way we use the Earth's surface. Watch as Aggie Air takes flight.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
That one hit hard into left center. Could it be? It is! Tyler Thornton!
USU senior infielder Tyler Thornton crushed this home run against New Mexico on Sunday, part of a season high in runs for the Aggies. Welcome back to ATV Sports. We've got more than just homers and dunks for you today, so stick around and I'll fill you in on everything going on with your Aggies, including the NCAA tournament. Let's get back to the Diamond. The Aggie softball team got conference play started with a home series against New Mexico. They took the first 2 games, but did they get the sweep? We'll get started in the bottom of the first with freshman Jaden Kalunga hitting in 2 runs with this single here. Freshman pitcher Haley McLean struck out a batter here on the top of the second, 1 of 5 for her on the day. Senior Tyler Thornton got the Aggies started in the second with this solo shot, and the bats awakened from there. Sophomore Claudia Medina cranked this homer to score the Aggies 3 more runs, part of a 6-run inning. But the Lobos responded in the third with Maddie Bolt. She blasted this pitch over the fence for a grand slam. As soon as it left her hands, you felt it. You see her celebrating here with her teammates after grounding all the bases. The Aggies got out of the inning here with this snag from third baseman Claire Rayleigh, but it wasn't before the Lobos managed to score 8 runs. The bats were still ringing for the Aggies in the bottom of the third as freshman Kaya Pratt pummeled this ball out into left field for the solo home run. Then the very next batter, Rayleigh, matches Pratt with a homer of her own. But wait, there's more. Grace Mate added her own homer in the third as the Aggies went back-to-back home runs, part of a 5-run inning to give the Aggies a 13-9 lead going into the fourth. But that would be the last of the runs for the Aggies on the day as the Lobos defense stepped it up here with the outfielder, making this throw all the way from Smithfield to get the tag out at third. You see just a crazy throw all the way from the outfield. The Aggies fell to the Lobos by 2, 15-13, despite putting up a season high in runs. Utah State's Jaden Kalunga earned Mountain West Freshman of the Week, her second of the season. Kalunga batted .438 this weekend, including 1 home run and a team-high 6 RBIs. We sort of had a big thing happen this week, the NCAA tournament, and the students pulled up to the Spectrum at 10:30 a.m. to cheer on the Aggies. Even though school is in session, over 200 students came to the Spectrum to watch the Aggies' first-round matchup against the Missouri Tigers. It was the Aggies' 23rd tournament appearance and 4th in the past 5 years. The Aggies couldn't contain Noah Carter in the first half, here getting the blow-by dunk and then stretching the defense out with a 3-pointer. The Aggies then decided to not play any defense at all, giving the Tigers yet another dunk, wide open. But Sean Bairstow came back with this drive, fighting off the defender for the lay-in. And then on the next possession, Dan Akin gets down low in the post and finished this jump hook over the defender. RJ Idelrock snuck past his defender a few possessions later and faked out 2 more to get this layup to fall. Sean Bairstow then got this step-through move to fall to pull the Aggies within 4. The Aggie defense finally showed up with 8 minutes to go in the first half as grad transfer Taylor Funk blocked this shot out of bounds. Here's another look in the slow-mo, using those long arms to cause all kinds of problems for Missouri on that play. A few minutes later, the Aggies get out on the break with Steven Ashworth throwing the bounce pass to Sean Bairstow, who elevates for the jam. He finished with 10 points on the day, but it was Noah Carter once again causing problems coming off the screen for the wide-open dunk. He finished the game with 10 points, all of them in the first half. And the Aggies were down 4 at the half. Taylor Funk in the second half got the Aggies going with this pull-up jumper. And on the ensuing possession, Steven Ashworth steals the ball and pulls a 3 to give the Aggies a 1-point lead. Funk then hit a 3 here a few possessions later to tie the game at 39. He had a team-high 16 points. Missouri gets the ball moving here and gets it to Demoy Hodge, who hits this 3. So smooth jumper right there. And then Taylor Funk blocks the shot here, which gets the Aggies out and running. Steven Ashworth getting the ball here and flipping this pass over to grad transfer Dan Akin for the easy 2-handed slam. A minute or so later, Akin runs the floor again for another dunk to give the Aggies a 2-point lead. The Mountain West Sixth Man of the Year ended with 12 off the bench, but the Tigers found their rhythm from the 3-point line with Kobe Brown hitting this one here, and then the very next possession hitting this step back over 2 Aggies. Idelrock scored here to stop the bleeding, but the Tigers were too hot from the perimeter, with Brown hitting yet another 3. He finished with 19 points as the Tigers hit 10 threes in the game. Hodge hit another three with 5 minutes to play to give the Tigers a 9-point lead. And then on defense, Missouri steals it from the Aggies here and then get out in transition. Hodge looks up and decides he's going to pull another three, and he nails it. And the dagger here with a minute left, Nick Honor hits this fadeaway corner three to seal the deal and walk away with the win, 76-65. Here's what one student from the watch party had to say after the game.
We played better in the second half. We fought till the end, but it just obviously wasn't meant to be today, so it's a little disappointing.
The men's hockey team was in Boston for nationals this week, but wasn't able to come up with a win in pool play, getting outscored 18-5 in 3 games. Women's gymnastics had a few players recognized by the conference. Junior Brianna Brooks made first team All-MRGC in the all-around and second team on bars. Senior Sophie Sullivan was named second team on the beam. Both gymnasts are headed to Pittsburgh to compete at nationals on March 30th.
Well, Noah, it looks like we had quite a bit of travel for our sports this week.
They are all over the place, all over the country right now.
Yeah, do you have any favorite athletes from other countries right now?
I sat down in an interview with Sean Barstow a couple weeks ago. He's a member of the basketball team. I saw a couple of his highlights there. He's a super cool dude. I mean, he's talking about the transition going from Australia to the United States and playing high school ball up here in AAU ball. It's just very interesting. He's a funny dude. He's just awesome. Sean Barstow's super cool.
Yeah. Speaking of Barstow, there's more international students here at USU besides athletes. Would you be able to live in another country as an international student? Zara Nasir lets some students share what it's like for them to be away from home.
Yoruba. That is the language you can hear these students using. It is one of the languages spoken in Nigeria, the country where both these students are from. Compared to his home country, this graduate student says he couldn't believe how informal professors in America are.
The first time I came, my professor said, "Look, I like you mentioning my title, but would you please call me my name? Call me Eric." I was like, what? This is not what I'm used to. 8.5.
While shopping for some shoes with his friend, Olushola is reminded of the difference between markets in America and the ones in Nigeria.
When you're going in the market, you want to stop and watch how people interact and how they are bargaining items, Here in America, no bargain, fixed price. How much is bread? $2. How much is egg? $8. You just grab it, put it in the... For me, I think that is boring.
USU reports that 7% of their full-time graduate students are international students. Shola is from right here in Nigeria, a country located in Africa. Another student I got a chance to speak to is from right here in Bangladesh, a country located in South Asia. And she says the way people act in America was really surprising for her.
When you're walking in the roads and the strangers will smile at you, they will say hi to you. In Bangladesh, you wouldn't see that.
As an engineering research student, Tahira says she is always busy at the lab, but with Ramadan quickly approaching, she knows holidays are coming up as well.
This will be the first time in my life not celebrating Eid with my family and celebrating in a different country.
She says more than celebrations, she misses the people.
I miss a lot of things back home, but you miss your family the most, right?
Zahar Nasir, ATV News.
Utah.gov says suicide is the leading cause of death for Utahns aged 10 to 24, and since 2017, Logan has had over 57 suicides. The Utah Department of Health says Utah has an average of 648 suicides per year. In 2020, suicide was the leading cause of death for Utahns 10 to 17 and 18 to 24, and was the second leading cause of death for age 25 to 44. More people are hospitalized or treated in emergency rooms for suicide attempts than are fatally injured. In 2019, 70 Utahns were treated for self-inflicted injuries every day. Avenues of Hope founders say they want to make a difference for survivors and families by reaching out to the community.
We lost 2 members of our family to suicide. So I lost my older brother to suicide and my younger brother to suicide. My mother and I, Lisa, we just were like, how can we help? How can we stop people from dying by suicide? How can